Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Specialist Suarez. Today, I will be conducting a class on how to convert azimuth. Classification for this training will be unclassified. Overall risk level will be low. Some identified risks are: make sure everybody's staying hydrated. Make sure you're looking out for your battle buddies left and right of you to make sure they're drinking water at all times. Also, the sun is high with no clouds, so make sure you're applying sunscreen as necessary. Also, there is a lot of wildlife out here, so make sure you're looking out for wildlife and you're aware of that in this environment. There's ant piles spread throughout the field, so ensure you're not stepping in one, as if you are stepping in one, they will bite you. It is the duty and responsibility of all soldiers and DA civilians to protect and preserve the environment. At this time, I will be going over the task, conditions, and standards. You are a member of a squad preparing to conduct tactical movement. You have been directed to convert azimuth and preparation for the movement. You have been given a 1 out of 50,000 map with a declination diagram, pen, paper, and compass. I'll be going over the standards at this time. Standard: convert an azimuth from magnetic to grid to magnetic without error. In order to convert azimuth, you'll need these following things. You will need a pen, a protractor, a lensatic compass, and a military map. I have up here provided you with those said items. Whenever I allow you guys to do your individual training, I will provide you guys with those items. Alright. At this time, I will demonstrate the task at full speed, followed by a step-by-step demonstration on how to perform the task. After that, you'll be evaluated. After that, I will give you some time to train and practice for about 10 minutes, and after that, you'll be evaluated to standard on the task. Alright, at this time, if there's no questions, I'll perform the task step-by-step at full speed. No questions. Reverse azimuth. Grid to magnetic. Magnetic to grid. That concludes my demonstration on how to perform the task step by step. At this time, I will give you guys a step-by-step walkthrough and explain each of the steps I've conducted while converting azimuth. So we'll start with number 1, getting the reverse azimuth. So using your lensatic compass, you would face in whatever direction you want to go. So say you wanted to get the reverse azimuth of this direction. You would face your lensatic compass in this direction. It's going to be 150 degrees. In order to get a reverse azimuth, if that number or the first initial azimuth is less than 180 degrees, so 179 or less, you would add 180 degrees to the azimuth in order to get your reverse azimuth. If that number is greater than 180 degrees, you will subtract 180 degrees to get your reverse azimuth in that situation. All right, next we're going to go on how to acquire your azimuth, or correction, how to convert your azimuth from grid to magnetic. So for this, you'll need your protractor, and you'll need your military map and a pen. So starting point, after you oriented your map, what you would want to do is you would place your protractor on your starting point, and you would draw a dot. After you've drawn a dot on from your protractor, has a dot in the center of it, you would find your next point, whatever point you want to go to. So say it's 150 degrees to the northeast or northwest, whatever one you want. You'll put a dot there. From there, using your straight edge of your protractor, you will draw a straight line from point A to point B. After you've drawn that line, you will use your protractor, and using the dot that's in the center of the protractor, placing that dot, placing the circle, the hole of your protractor on your starting point. From there, you want to make sure your protractor is not canted left or right, and make sure it's flush. You can use the grid boxes in order to line up your protractor. Make sure it's center there, and then on your protractor, there's going to be two different type of degrees or headings, I guess. There's going to be your compass rose, which is going to be using degrees. It goes to 160 degrees, and then you have your mils on the top. For this situation, we're going to be using the degrees. So by placing your circle on the center dot, you would find out where your second point B is, and you would find whatever heading that is. You'll keep that in mind. So we'll say it's 150 degrees for this situation. Each military map, on the bottom where the legend's at, it's going to have a declination diagram. It's going to have a center line, and it's going to either have a line to the left or to the right of that center line. In this situation, our Venn diagram, there's going to be a line to the left of that Venn diagram, and it's going to say 5 degrees in that Venn diagram. So since it's to the left, that means we'll need to add that 5 degrees to our grid heading in order to go to magnetic heading. So we'll say it's 150 degrees, and it's to the left of 5 degrees. So that'll mean that our magnetic heading is 155 degrees. So now we can get a compass. We can point at 155 degrees and go from point A to point B. Now I'll be demonstrating how to convert azimuth from magnetic to grid. In this situation, it's the same. You'll just be reversing your roles. So say you're facing in this direction, and it's at 150 degrees. You will look at your map, and you see your Venn diagram. It says it's 5 degrees, and it's to the left. So instead of adding the 5 degrees, going from grid to magnetic, you're going to subtract 5 degrees from magnetic to grid. So we'll go at 149, for example. We'll be 150 minus 5, it'll be 145, correction. So on your grid map, if you put your protractor there and you go, it'll be 145 from point A to point B. That is how you convert from grid to magnetic, magnetic to grid, and you get your reverse azimuth. All right. Immediately following this training, you'll be evaluated. I'm gonna give you guys 5 minutes to do this training. You'll be evaluated, and you must, in an individual basis, in order to receive a go on each task, a go on this task, you must receive an individual goal on each subtask, such as grid to magnetic, magnetic to grid, and reverse azimuth. You'll be evaluated at the end of this training. Training area will be this field. We'll split up into teams of 2, and I'll go to each individual training and help you guys out. While you guys are training, I'll be walking around and assisting as necessary. I'll be asking you guys questions, and if you guys have any questions, you guys can ask me if there's any topic that you need to work on. At this time, I will give you guys 5 minutes to train on the task. 5 minutes has elapsed. Alright, at this time, you'll be evaluated on the task. I'm going to restate the task, conditions, and standards. Alright, you are a member of a squad. Preparing to conduct tactical movement, you have been directed to convert azimuth in preparation for the movement. You have been given a 1 out of 50,000 map with a declination diagram, pen, paper, and a compass. Standard: convert the azimuth from magnetic to grid, grid to magnetic, without error. At this time, you will be evaluated on the task. I'll be walking around and evaluating each individual group. Evaluation has elapsed. At this time, I will retrain individuals. We'll be conducting retraining at this time. The people who passed, the soldiers who passed, will stay in the bleachers. Everybody who needs retraining to standard, will link with me and we'll do a 20-minute retrain session, and I'll make sure you guys perform each task to standard. All right, retraining has been completed. If there's any questions, we'll be moving to the after action review. No questions. After action review. What was supposed to happen? What happened? What went right? What went wrong? Improvements. Sustains. That conducts the after action review. Staff Sergeant Tillett. T stands for train, P stands for practice, U stands for untrained, I stands for I will report all my findings to my chain of command. That concludes this training. Have a good day.